Yo guys, regular work day today, and that means regular morning routine. Starts out with the jog to the train station, about 3 kilometers, then the Wim Hof breathing meditation method really gets your system going, some adrenaline pushed out there. Thirdly, gym workout. Today's cardio all in, and what follows is cold shower. The real thing to just boom, start this day off in a great way. Anyways, I just have to share or confess that I actually forgot to do the sentence completion exercise yesterday. Hurts my heart to say it, but it's true. However, I just did it right now and made me realize what an impact it has. Yesterday I was all productivity focused, living purposeful, so niched in on that because it's a topic that is close by heart to me because it's how I started up with personal development. However, when I sat down at the bike just now and wrote this stem sentences, it really connected me to the bigger purpose with living purposefully, and it made me answer the questions that were really good for me to get that thing going.
What does living purposefully mean to you?
And when I wrote intuitively, I just following my heart, asking myself, why am I doing what I'm doing? Finding that true motivation for all my efforts and time I put into things. It has to be a true cause behind there that talks to you, that speaks to you, that really embraces who you are into every little cell. That is what needs to be your fuel throughout your days. That is what living purposefully in the greater sense is all about to me. You should really do these sentence exercises. It only takes 5 goddamn minutes and it makes so much happen up here. Boom! Boy oh boy, you know the summer is around the corner when it's still almost bright outside, when it's almost 10 o'clock. Yeah, I pulled off a 13-hour plus work day today and it was amazing. Productivity, boom, from start to right now. How did that happen? I don't know, just super motivated, super energized. Anyhow, I managed to throw in some purpose-aimed videos in there. Actually, a guy named Leo at actualize.org, usually refer to him once in a while because he has a tendency to reflect upon these things in a very nuanced and good way. So I'm briefly gonna condense the very core of those videos and show just after this, but I recommend you guys to see the full videos. It's 10 minutes plus 20 minutes. Well worth time to invest. Okay, my train is coming now, so I have to run. See you tomorrow, guys. No, maybe not. I'm going to Barcelona on Thursday, so I'm working real long days to make up for some lost time. See you when I see you. Bye. Oh, I'm really in a hurry.
You are the onion, and you've got all these layers to you, and so you start with the outer layer, and the outer layer is just like your basic intuitions as to what you want to be doing with your life. And by purpose I mean, and by what you're doing with your life, mostly related to your career, because you're spending 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, probably, if not more than that, on your career. So you want that to be something that is important to you, something that is deeply fulfilling for you. Because if you're not doing that, think about it, 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, that's like 1/3 of your life spent on your job. So and then another 1/3 of your life is spent sleeping. So 1/3 of it's spent sleeping, 1/3 of it is spent working, and then another 1/3 of it is spent doing other miscellaneous things. You want that 1/3 that you spend working to be something that's fulfilling for you. And so what David Datas talks about is that you're like an onion, and you've got that outer layer that you start with. And that outer layer is just your basic intuition as to what you want to be doing. And then what happens is you go and you pursue that thing, you try it out, you're feeling around. When you're new at this, you don't really know what you should be doing. So you're feeling around, maybe you like this thing or you don't like that thing, you get little hints here and there. And then you peel that layer back, as it were. You peel it back and then you reach another deeper layer inside. And then you work on that for a while, you work on that, and you think that that's the thing that you're really after. And then you start to see that it starts to peel away as well, and there's something deeper there, and so you go even deeper, and then you get to another layer and you peel that away. And so this process really, it's a dynamic process. It's a dynamic way to think about life purpose. It's not just a static thing, it's a dynamic thing, and it's something that keeps evolving over the course of your life. So maybe you're the kind of person right now that has no idea what they want to be doing with their life. Maybe you just have kind of a dead-end job that you're just doing just to earn money. That means you got to start with the outermost layer and start working on that and working your way inwards. And that outer layer is the first one you got to start with. And it might take you a year just to figure out the first layer. But maybe you're already pretty deep into it, and maybe you already feel like you have a pretty decent career. You went to school, you know that what you're doing is something that is resonating with you. But still, there's more, right? That means you've penetrated maybe past that first surface, but then there's still more in there. And what does more mean there? Well, what is it that you really want to bring forward and share with the world? What kind of impact do you want to have through your job? So maybe you're already, you already have a decent job. Maybe you're an engineer, or you're an artist, you're a graphics designer, or whatever it is that you're doing. Maybe you know that that's the line of work that you want to be working in, but maybe now the next step for you is going off on your own and maybe doing your own thing, because what you're doing at your job right now, you feel like it's not letting you express yourself fully. It's not letting you share your full potential, and it's not letting you to have the kind of impact that you really want to have at your job. Maybe that means going and finding another job that's along the same line. So let's say if you're a web designer, maybe you're still going to be a web designer, but now you're going to go to a different company because that company is more in line with the values that you have. Maybe they're working on websites, the kind of websites that you're more interested in, that you feel are necessary and important for the world to experience and to see and to interact with. So maybe it's like that. Or maybe you feel like you've been a web designer and you've been that way for a few years, you've been working at it, and now you feel like it's totally not your gig anymore. And you found out an important lesson here, that even though web design is not your purpose, now you've kind of peeled back that first layer, and now you're going deeper, and it's like, okay, my purpose is something else. So maybe I like art, and I like programming. Maybe I can mix those somehow in some other way, some original way. Maybe I should go in and do something that's like an offshoot of web development. So maybe it's like that. And you just keep drilling deeper and deeper and deeper until you get to some sort of core. And I don't know if this core is ever gotten to. It might be just kind of like an ideal that you're trying to strive for. But ultimately what you're trying to do is you're trying to dig deeper and trying to get to the core of yourself, really, of who you are, and figuring out what your values are and the kind of expression you want to have, so you're 100% authentically expressing yourself through your work. Your life purpose is so dynamic. And if you don't have a purpose right now, set your purpose to find a purpose. So that means whatever it is that you're doing, if you know that you're not happy doing it right now, that's fine. That's where you're at. And maybe you can't leave your job immediately. That's not what I'm saying. You might have to stick around just because of the financial situation you're in or whatever. That's fine. But start to think ahead. Start to think about what you want your purpose to be, right? If you weren't doing your job right now, what would you be doing instead? What would you rather be doing? What would be the best possible position for you in any possible company in the world? Or maybe it would be starting your own business. Start thinking about that. And maybe what you can start doing is start reading, start researching, start exploring, start testing out the field, right? Testing out what it is that you want to go into. So maybe you're doing one thing and you want to go into something totally different. Test out that totally different thing. See if it's going to work for you. Because a lot of times what will happen is that you'll try it out and you'll figure out, that this is really not what you want. And so then you have to go search for something else and something else. But ultimately, if your purpose is to find your purpose, that is what's going to ground you, at least for now. That's going to ground you, and you're going to use that to test out all these different niches that you could potentially fill until you find one that's going to be nice and comfy for you, and it's going to make you fulfilled. So for now, if you don't have a purpose, start by making your purpose to find a purpose. That is your purpose right now.